Hi everybody, welcome to my first video on YouTube. Unfortunately, I'm not doing this in the best of circumstances. You may or may not have heard of a motorbike called the Lexmoto LXR. It's a 125 machine, and I just wanted to give some feedback on my experience of this bike, and just to kind of warn others about the possibility for things to go wrong, because they do. I've looked at the reviews that are already on YouTube, done by people with a couple of thousand subscribers, so I'm sure my video probably isn't even going to be seen, to be honest, but I think it's worth making, just so that I can, warn others of the potential issues with Lexmoto. I have looked online and sort of had a look at other people's opinions of Lexmoto. It seems to be very divided. So there's some people who think, yeah, it's great. Like I've had no problems with my bike, and then there's others that have said, oh, this went wrong, that went wrong, blah blah blah. But the majority of stuff I've seen about Lexmoto is good. So when I purchased a brand new Lexmoto LXR for around £2,350, I think I got it for. Not the SE version, just regular Lexmoto LXR, in blue and silver, I think it was. I'm not sure what the actual colour name is. It was my first geared bike, so I thought, I'd give it a go. I wanted to kind of go on the gears. I've ridden 50cc moped for around roughly 2 years, and I rode a 125cc moped for around 6 months, something like that, just to get a feel for what a 125 is, because it's obviously over double 50cc. So I just wanted to make sure, I was used to speed and capability of them. The 125 I had, the moped, was an Aprilia, and I didn't have any issues with it whatsoever, and that's probably because Aprilia is a kind of, renowned make, and Italian make, not a lot of stuff really goes wrong with those types of machines. But anyway, moving on to the main purpose of my video, I've kind of written a list on my phone of the issues. So I just sort of listed out main problems, and there are a couple of general issues which aren't really a big deal, but they're still annoying. So the first issue I had at around 50 miles, which is like nothing. I took the bike out, parked it up for half an hour, came back, and it just wouldn't start. So I had to phone the bike shop out. The bike shop have been really helpful, actually. I'm not doing this video to criticise the bike shop, I won't name them. They've been great. Every time I've had an issue, I've brought the bike in and they fixed it straight away, really, within a couple of hours. So I can't really fault the bike shop, but these issues are not good. So like I said, ignition coil failed. This is on Saturday. Luckily the bike shop was on Saturday, so they recovered the vehicle, brought it in, diagnosed the ignition coil problem. I had the bike back by Monday, and it was running fine again. No other problems. And then I got to, this is a general issue, I got to around 150 miles, and I noticed squeaking and crunching kind of noise when I used the back brake. It started off as, kind of a mild sound, and then it's gotten worse and worse and worse. And so I contacted the bike shop, and they said that it was possibly a build-up of dust and dirt on the brake pads, which I know obviously that's not the bike shop's fault or Lexmoto's fault, but I thought I'd just throw that in there as well. I have tried cleaning the brake discs, which I know probably won't help, but that hasn't resolved the issue. I think you need to clean the actual calipers, and because I don't have any idea around the maintenance of the bike. I don't want to start taking stuff apart and then cause an issue myself and void the warranty, whatever, and have to pay for the fix. So I've left that. It hasn't affected the performance of the brakes. It's just quite annoying when you're in traffic and you just have this crunching, squeaking, horrible noise, which is, yeah, it's horrible. And you've got people looking at you and you're just like, oh fuck, like you don't even want to use the back brake. And so that's me being putting more pressure on the front brake, which I know is dangerous, particularly in wet weather. But yeah, it's got its first service on Monday, so yeah, it's going in for that. I'm hoping that'll be fixed. Moving on to another main problem, around 270 miles, the bike started probably around, I was actually say 250, the bike cut out on me at some traffic lights, which was really embarrassing, and wouldn't start again, so I had to kind of wheel the bike away whilst there were cars beeping at me and stuff, which was horrible. And I sort of took it to the side and I phoned up the bike shop and I was like, what is going on here? And then I tried to start the bike and it started again, so I was like, okay. They told me to bring it in the next day, but I thought maybe it's just a one-time issue, a big deal. I definitely didn't install it because I had the clutch in. I'm quite confident on the gears, so I knew it was a technical problem again, but there was no engine warning light, nothing, so I just thought maybe it's a one-time issue, so I kind of left it, and I was going to take it into the bike shop, but I'm busy with work, I'm a very busy person, I don't have much time to have this kind of interference in my life, so I left it. Probably about 10 miles later, around 260 miles, did the same thing again, and I had to wheel it again to the side of the road from the traffic lights, which was embarrassing in rush hour traffic. So yeah, and then at that point the engine kind of warning light's like an orange light, not like the red exclamation mark kind of thing. It was literally just the orange warning light, and the bike would not start. It was cranking to start, but it just wouldn't catch and roar into life. So I was like, oh, for God's sake. I left it again for 2 minutes, started again, but the engine warning light stayed on, so I phoned the bike shop and I said that they were phoning in 10 minutes, so there wasn't much I could do, so I had to take the bike home. I had no other way of getting home, and I said I'd take it in the morning. That morning, on the way to work, same bloody thing happened again at another set of traffic lights. Had to push the bike, which weighs around 167 kilograms. Excuse me if I'm wrong, but that's my impression, I think. I looked it up online. Yeah, same thing. Had to push it half a mile to a car park, phone up the bike shop. They then had to recover the bike. They fixed it up in a day, and they told me it was a poor ECU connection, which from what I understand is kind of like the whole computer system of the bike basically went down. So that was another red flag for me, and I was sort of thinking, what am I buying here? Like, if this is going to be a persistent issue, then I'm just wasting my time, really. And I spent quite a lot of my savings to get this bike, and I know it's kind of a budget bike, it's not a lot, but for somebody of my age who's saved up quite a lot to purchase this type of bike with my own money, didn't need any help, and I just kind of feel cheated in a way. But that's not even the end of it. Around 460 miles, literally today, I heard a rattling sound, and I was like, this doesn't sound right. So I drove it into the bike shop, didn't want to waste more time getting the bike recovered and all that stuff. They told me that the exhaust had gone loose, so I thought, okay, quick and easy fix. The bike fixed it within an hour or two. On my way home, same noise again. So now it's left outside again, and I'm going to have to take it in if it doesn't break down again on Monday morning. It's now Friday. I'm not going to have any transport for the weekend. I don't have time to take it down on Saturday. It's just a total inconvenience. I'll sort of play the noise that I'm hearing so you guys can hear it as well. Another general issue is that the bike has been stalling when it's in neutral. This hasn't occurred while the bike's been running. It's when I park the bike up, I put it in neutral, green neutral light on, started it, and it stalls forward. And I've nearly dropped it. This has happened about 5 times now, and it's unpredictable when it's going to happen. The bike is definitely in neutral, and when this happens, I can't get it out of neutral unless I shift the gear up or down and then put it back in neutral. So it's just dangerous because I could drop the bike and cause damage, and then it will be on me then. The warranty won't cover that. It's kind of my word against theirs. When it next does it, I'm going to record it so they can see it happening. It just doesn't make much sense to me, and that's the list of problems that I've had within a month. I'm not really sure what my next options are, whether I take this to sort of trading standards or whatever and start looking at the Consumer Rights Act, blah blah blah. But all I want is the bike to be fixed. But I'm kind of thinking, do I really want to keep this bike? Because it's clearly faulty. I feel like Lexmoto should replace the bike and either give me a new one, which isn't faulty, or give me a full refund, because I have clearly been sold a vehicle that is faulty, it's malfunctioning, there's so many different issues, and I just kind of want to get this fixed now. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video, not to dig at the bike shop like I said, because they have been brilliant. I'm not going to name them, but they're always so helpful. Great guys in there. If they see this video, they'll know I'm talking about them. But Lexmoto, I'm not happy, and once this bike is gone, I will never buy another Lexmoto brand bike in my life. All I wanted this bike for was to pass my light motorcycle test with the gears, and then move on to heavy motorcycle in a year. And I would definitely be buying something that is reputable brands such as Suzuki, Yamaha, bikes like that are known to last. I don't want something that's short term, I need something that's reliable, that's going to get me from A to B. And I'm sorry Lexmoto, but your bike has proved to me that that is not what Lexmoto is like. And I hope this video helps people that may be considering buying a Lexmoto LXR and to consider perhaps other options, to be honest. So yeah, thank you for listening to my side of the story. And well, not my side of the story, you know what I mean, but I've seen all these good reviews. I'm not trying to slay anybody, but I just want to spread awareness that Lexmoto isn't this amazing brand that everybody is making it out to be. It clearly has issues. It clearly is not something that is built to last long term. And I kind of did have that doubt when I bought the bike, because it's a Chinese bike, and I know a lot of stuff is made in China, and I've heard people say, oh well, Yamaha and things like that are built in this. I know Yamaha's Japanese, but I've heard people say that it's built in China and all this stuff. But like I said, I should have listened to the negative stuff that I read on the internet about Chinese bikes, and I hope this will raise awareness of that and open people's eyes, to consider other options and try a brand that is reputable. So once again, thank you for listening. I hope this spreads some awareness, and I'll play the engine sound for you now. Thanks and goodbye.